Knock knock! Halloween is here! Eat, drink, and be scary! As Halloween approaches, there's much to be excited about. Creating homemade Halloween costumes for kids, pumpkin carving ideas, telling spooky ghost stories, mastering these Halloween cake recipes, the list goes on and on. However, one of the most classic things to do is to watch a couple of the finest Halloween movies. Luckily, there are enough shocks to go around with the collection of Halloween movies, and they're sure to please a wide range of fans. For those who prefer a little intrigue, thrillers are always a hit, while those who are a bit more daring could appreciate a classic horror film with these best Halloween movies. I scream, you scream, we all scream because it's October again! In October 2021, fans will have the opportunity to see a variety of fresh new horror films, some in cinemas and others via streaming. Dark humor, slasher, psychological fear, zombies, and more genres are all represented. Without further ado, here's a rundown of all the new horror films set to hit theaters around Halloween. Number 1. Halloween Kills. Release on October 15th, 2021. After a year of waiting due to the coronavirus epidemic, Michael Myers returns to ring in another Halloween series in Halloween Kills. The sequel begins immediately after Halloween 2018, with Michael escaping Laurie's burning house, murdering a number of unlucky firemen, and returning to the hunt for Laurie Strode and her kids, as shown in the trailers. While this Michael is no longer Laurie's brother, they have a personal grudge against each other that can only be resolved by the murder of the other. However, it remains to be seen how commercially successful Halloween Kills will be. Number 2. Night Teeth. Release on October 20th, 2021. Another new Netflix original horror offering in October. Almost seems like a darker take on the Tom Cruise/Jamie Foxx movie Collateral. A college student working as a driver to make ends meet picks up two attractive young women for a night on the town in Night Teeth. When the ladies are revealed to be vicious vampires who are in conflict with other vampire clans, what appears to be a simple job becomes insane. Even worse, his own brother is in charge of the opposition. Number 3. The Night House. Release on October 20th, 2021. We may be a title you have heard about a few years ago, and while it did debut in early 2020, some may argue that it isn't fresh enough to be included on this list. Nevertheless, it just hit theaters in mid-2021. It continues to follow Beth, a widow who recently lost her husband to suicide, as she attempts to make a sensation of mysterious supernatural phenomena. Beth is concerned about her late husband was having an affair after discovering photos of him with several ladies, all of whom seem strangely similar to herself. Regrettably, she is soon to discover something far worse. It's a unique twist on the classic haunted home premise, combining horror cliches from many subgenres while still delivering an emotional hit. To offer viewers a sort of twofer for this post, director David Bruckner has been busy. After The Night House, he created a new horror film called No One Gets Out Alive that is also worth checking out. Number 4. Candyman. Release on August 27, 2021. It's not a reproduction, but rather a modernization of the 1992 picture. Because it was produced and co-written by Jordan Peele, it's no surprise that it places an even greater focus on social justice than the previous film. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II portrays an artist who lives in the now gentrified neighborhood where the previous film's killings occurred. From then, things start to become strange. Nia DaCosta is the director. Number 5. Malignant. Release on September 10th, 2021. Is it really that good? Yes, in a way. But for the most part, it's entertaining, albeit only if you enjoy this type of thing. James Wan, best known for directing Saw and Furious 7, doesn't hold back in the story about a lady, Annabelle Wallace, who has terrifying visions. They are, in fact, genuine. The how and why is the bizarre part, and Wan doesn't hold back on the gore, in a nice manner, of course. With this crazy and gory tale of a woman who begins to distantly see murders after receiving a knock to the head, Aquaman filmmaker James Wan returns to his down-and-dirty Saw-era horror roots. I knew I was going to get onto Aquaman 2 at some point after Aquaman 1, but I needed a little pause, a palate cleanser, the filmmaker explained. I can only create so many PG-13 films before I get tired of them. I honestly simply miss my Saw days, my death sentence days, and my dead silence days, and I wanted to go do those again. Number 6. Last Night in Soho. Release on October 29th, 2021. There aren't too many directors with more than enough name recognition to inspire interest in whatever they're working on, just on the basis of their notoriety, but director Edgar Wright appears to have reached that stage. Of course, it isn't harmful. Last Night in Soho, a psychiatric horror film, appears to be a fascinating fall onto the dark shadows of existence, with teenage Eloise, Thomasin McKenzie, inexplicably transported back to the 1960s and through the body of her favorite singer, Sandy Shaw, Anya Taylor-Joy. On the surface, that sounds like a formula for good times, but neither the legacy nor Sandy are as light and effervescent as they look. Number 7. Hypnotic. Release on October 27, 2021. The psychological horror thriller Hypnotic is another film to look forward to in Netflix's Halloween 2021 lineup. Hypnotic is a forthcoming Netflix original psychological horror thriller directed by Matt Angel and Suzanne Coote and written by Richard Dovidio. Angel and Coote will be hoping that Hypnotic is a bigger hit than their last original, The Open House, which starred Dylan Minnette from 13 Reasons Why, and Kate Siegel, Midnight Mass. Netflix's resident horror queen plays a lady seeking self-improvement who seeks treatment from renowned hypnotist Jason O'Mara. She goes through several really hard sessions and rapidly realizes that things are getting a lot worse, not better. Number 8. VHS 94. Release on October 6, 2021. A news crew investigating the urban legend of a sewer-dwelling rat man, a right-wing militia planning to use a supernatural creature to invade a federal building, an overnight wake gone horribly wrong, and a mad scientist turning humans into machines are among the new stories in the found footage horror anthology series' 4th installment. Number 9. Madras. Release on October 8, 2021. For the second year, horror master Jason Blum's Welcome to the Blumhouse series, which features a new generation of varied scary movie creators, is back. The most bizarre of the 4 films is a 1970s set story about a pregnant Mexican-American couple, Tanaqueta and Ariana Guerra, who discovers a weird talisman at their new home. Number 10. Fear Street Trilogy. Released on July 2nd, 9th, 16th, 2021. From beginning to end, the first installment of Netflix's Fear Street Trilogy is an absolute blast. This R-rated slasher, which is heavily influenced by Scream, takes place in the village of Shadyville, where people have a history of going on violent killing sprees dating back decades. Rumors abound that it has something to do with the 1600s witch's curse, which will be addressed in the 3rd film. And in this 1994 picture, a group of teens find themselves the target of a slew of masked assassins as they struggle to figure out what's going on and how to survive it. It's easy to lump all the Fear Street flicks together since they're such a gratifying and even limited series-like totality. But they're also artistically different and individually successful enough to stand alone. The second chapter, 1978, transports viewers to another Shadyside massacre, this time inspired by the 1970s and 1980s summer camp horror craze. Fear Street Part 3, 1666, the last installment in the trilogy, ties everything together by journeying to the beginnings of the curse. So if you're looking for some historical horror with a huge action finale, this is your best choice. It's impressive how writer-director Leigh Janiak developed a different vocabulary for each chapter, not just cinematically, but also in terms of the horror traditions she utilizes. In line with the Shadyside curse, 1666 is the darkest of the 3. It delves into the rotten heart of civilization beneath the curse. Janiak, on the other hand, maintains a strong tonal command, never forsaking the lighthearted mood that makes her trilogy so enjoyable. Part 3, understandably, is the least coherent as a single picture, given how much story 1666 has to carry as the episode that explains it all, but it may also be the most gratifying of them all as viewers witness Janiak's wizardry pull it all off. Please let us know in the comments section. Please subscribe to the channel and click the bell button to be alerted when fresh, spicy, and fascinating stuff is available.